Hey guys, welcome back to NRL22.official, the YouTube channel for the National Rimfire League. I'm Jeremy, one of the league advisors, and we are out here at NCRGC again today to bring you the July 2025 NRL22 monthly course of fire, as evidenced by the very patriotic shirt that I'm wearing today at the range. The end of May and the beginning of June brought us the NRL22 Championship up in Cholula, Washington, where we experienced one of the most difficult course of fires I've seen in my entire shooting career. I wanted to give a huge shout out to my buddy Levi Sanderson, who won the championship this year. Luckily enough, I got to squad with Levi during that match, and that dude just knows how to shoot. I mean, I guess it helps when you shoot so many matches throughout the year. Speaking of X matches, we're bringing an X match back to Colorado, so if you're in the area and you want to come shoot an X match, between the beginning and the middle of August, we haven't quite nailed down a date, but that'll be coming soon. We're going to be hosting an epic NRL22 X match that you don't want to miss. I'm sure you guys have noticed that I did not post a June video. That is because we're kind of shifting gears. With the transition over to the NRL22.official channel and this content going on that channel opposed to the 22 Lima Romeo, we're going to shift gears and we're going to change up the content a little bit on the 22 Lima Romeo channel. We want to do a little deeper dive into the strategies that we use, the reasons why we use the gear that we use, and how we're doing wind calls in these tricky winds out here in northern Colorado. We want to help you perform at peak so that you have a chance to beat Levi next year at the National Championship. So please consider becoming a member to the channel over there. With that being said, I'm really excited to shoot this month's match. We did design this course of fire for your enjoyment. So let's get some targets set up and let's get this course of fire underway.
First up for the July course of fire, we have stage 1, Let Freedom Ring. We have a 1-inch and 2-inch on a double hanger at 75 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready with all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the star signal, engage the targets in the following order and manner. From prone, small target, 1 shot. From tip 1, large target, 1 shot. From the center, large target, 2 shots. From tip 2, large target, 1 shot. Back to the center, large target, 2 shots. Finally, tip 3, large target, 1 shot. And lastly, the center again, large target, 2 shots.
Understand the course of fire?
I do. I'm going to go ahead and load and make ready.
Load and make ready.
Okay,
Shooter ready?
shooter's ready.
Stand by. Engage.
Starting the stage off, for the first position, we're going to drop down to a prone, and we're going to fire 1 shot at the small target. Now that is the only shot we are going to fire at that small target, so just ignore it for the duration of the stage.
Oh, that's right. I need to do backwards hat, don't I?
The next position is going to be from one of the tips, where we're going to fire 1 shot at the large target. It's going to be easy to get tripped up on this stage and want to shoot that target twice from the tips. It's important to keep in mind that we're only going to fire 1 shot for every tip. We're going to drop down here into the position in the center of the tank trap and fire 2 shots at that large target. And then transition to the next position on the next tip. Again, keep in mind, we're only firing 1 shot from each tip. Now it's time to drop back down into the position in the center and fire those 2 shots at that large target again. Now moving up to the last position, I'm going to build into the forward position, fire 1 shot, and then drop right back down to the center of the tank trap, firing the last 2 shots at that large target, wrapping up this stage.
"31 seconds left."
Moving.
Good way to start this month's course of fire. I sure do like tank traps. Let's go ahead and get into stage 2.
All right.
Next up, we have stage 2, the 1776 yard line. We have a 2 and 2.5 on a double hanger and a 3-inch on a single hanger, all at 100 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready with all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, engage the targets large to small with 1 shot each from the following positions. left side of the tire, rear of the tire, and 2 different rungs on the ladder edge. You may choose the order of the positions, but all positions must be used.
Understand the course of fire?
Yep.
Good to load and make ready.
Starting into stage 2, I decided what was going to work best for me was to use the optional
Okay.
tripod for this
Shooter
stage.
ready?
Shooter's ready.
Stand by. Engage.
We're going to start by engaging from that second rung up, which is a nice seated position, and we're going to engage all 3 targets, large to small. My plan is to shoot this from right to left and drag that tripod with me as I make my way through all the positions on this stage. Using a tripod can be tricky, and it is something that I highly recommend you practice before match day. As you can see, I transitioned to the 3rd rung up the ladder, still utilizing that tripod and just dragging it with me as I make my way into the next position. Again, we're going to repeat the previous engagement and engage these targets, large to small, before transitioning to the next position on the tires. I decided to shoot the back side of the tire first, again just dragging that tripod along with me. We're going to repeat the previous engagement, taking those targets, large to small, before transitioning to the 4th and final position on this stage, which is on the left side of the tires for me. Before transitioning to the 4th position, seemed like a really good time to get that mag change done because I always shoot matches with 10 round magazines. We're going to break these last 3 shots, wrapping up the stage. That was definitely the right call to use a tripod. As you can see, it gave me quite a bit of stability on those tires. Let's go ahead and get into stage 3.
15 seconds left.
Plenty of time.
Next up, we have stage 3, rapid revolution. We have a 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch on a KYL rack at 40 yards, a 3/4 and 1 inch on a KYL rack at 63, and a 2.5 inch on a single hanger at 98 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready with all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, engage the targets with 2 shots each, large, near to far, then small, far to near. Near large KYL, far large KYL, far target. Far small KYL, near small KYL. Note, this is the bonus point stage where you earn 0.1 bonus point per second remaining after the required round count has been fired.
Okay. Understand the course of fire?
I do.
Load and make ready.
So, near, large, middle, large, far, twice, middle, small, near, small.
Yes.
2 shots each. Okay.
Shooter ready?
Shooter's ready.
Stand by. Engage.
For stage 3, we have a little bit of a confusing target engagement. But that's okay because we're shooting this whole stage prone, and we've got nothing else to really think about besides the target engagement. So walking these targets out and walking them back should be relatively simple because we don't have any movement to contend with. It's important when shooting this stage to remember that on the way out, you're only going to engage the large targets, and on the way back, you're only going to engage the small targets. As long as you keep that thought at the forefront of your mind, this stage should be pretty simple to shoot. Now, for this stage, I decided that holdovers were the right call. Because it is the time stage, I wanted to make sure I got a few bonus points in case I cleaned it. So, not dialing my elevation turret seemed like the right way to make up some time. On a stage like this, I feel that parallax really is an important element. Making sure you can see those targets with crystal clarity just in case you have a miss, to me is a pretty important aspect and something that I am definitely willing to invest the time in doing. We haven't seen a prone stage like that in quite some time, but I sure did enjoy it.
40?
Let's go ahead and get into stage 4.
All right.
Next up, we have stage 4, red, white, and boom. We have a 1 and 1.5 on a double hanger at 61, and we have a 2 and 2.5 on a double hanger at 92 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready with all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, engage the targets with 1 shot each, large to small, in the following order. From the vertical barrel, near. From the horizontal barrel, far. From the vertical barrel, near. From the horizontal barrel, far. Finally, from the vertical barrel, near large, then far small. Note, secure the horizontal barrel to prevent it from rolling.
Understand the course of fire?
I think so.
Load and make ready. Shooter ready?
Getting into stage 4, this is the first time that we've seen 2 barrels since we added the extra barrel in the standard barricade list.
Yep.
This stage is pretty straightforward. We're going to engage from the vertical barrel first at the 2 near targets, firing large to small. Then we'll transition over to the horizontal barrel and engage the far targets, large to small. This is going to be very much a rinse and repeat between these 2 positions. Building into a solid position on the horizontal barrel does prove to be pretty challenging. As you can see, the reticle is jumping around quite a bit as I try to find some stability. The first time I built in a position on that horizontal barrel, I didn't feel like I was gaining the stability that I was hoping. So I'm going to try a different approach the next time I go down there. Back up to the vertical barrel, we're just going to rinse and repeat the previous engagement, engaging that near target, large to small. Now as we transition back here, you'll see that I'm trying something slightly different than I did the first time. I'm trying to anchor the meat of my right arm onto my right knee to give me some bone-to-bone connection and hopefully get the stability that I'm looking for. As you can see, even with a more stable position, the reticle's still bouncing around quite a bit. We're going to transition up here to the vertical barrel one more time. This last engagement is the one that could trip you up if you don't have a well-written dope card, or if you haven't committed this shot sequence to memory. We're going to engage near large, then far small. That was a pretty tricky stage. Let's go ahead and get into the 5th and final stage for this month's match. Wrapping up this month's Independence Day Course of Fire, we have Stage 5, Red Coat Rack Attack. We have a 1.5 on a single hanger at 76, and a 3-inch on a double hanger at 100. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready with all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, engage the far, then near targets with 1 shot each from 6 different positions. Restrictions: positions may not be reused. No dialing of elevation while on the clock is allowed.
Okay.
Okay. Understand the course of fire?
I do.
Load and make ready. Shooter ready?
Shooter's ready.
Stand by. Engage.
Now starting into the last stage for this month's Course of Fire, we're going to be shooting off this pyramid, and the engagement is going to be pretty cut and dry. We're always going to engage large, then small. I felt holdovers were the best option for this stage, and I wanted to keep the position building sequence relatively simple, which is why I chose to work up the left side of the pyramid and then we're going to transition to the center of the pyramid and work right back down. The pyramid really has proven to be a tried and true barricade for position building exercises. We've spent a lot of time on this prop over the last couple of years, and as you can see, all that work has really paid off. This prop allows for extremely stable position building exercises, and as you guys can see, that reticle almost goes perfectly still in some of those positions. If you don't have one of these at home to practice on, some of the same fundamentals can be learned using that 6-foot ladder. Unfortunately, what you guys didn't see was that I forgot to start the trigger cam the first time I tried this stage. I had a clean stage and I finished with 9 seconds left on the clock.
Forgot the mag change.
The first time I shot it, I also forgot to mag change.
I don't remember that.
You thought after the second time I would have remembered, but nope. However, I finished with exactly 9 seconds left on the clock again.
9 seconds.
And now that
was a fun course of fire.
is a wrap.
Let's go ahead and wrap this video up.
All right, guys, well, that is a wrap for the July 2025 NRL22 Monthly Course of Fire. Happy Independence Day to all the Americans out there. We'd like to say thank you to SK for the ammunition that you saw in today's video. And also, we'd like to say thank you for being the ammunition sponsor for the NRL22 League for the 2026 season. We'd also like to say thank you to Midwest Precision Shooting. All of the targets and target stands that you saw in today's video were provided by those guys. And if you like targets that simply do not fail, you should definitely consider checking those guys out and picking yourself up a set. I'd also like to say thank you to Cyrus Larajani from Copper Star Precision, the YouTube channel, for the bag stop from Grey Ops CNC. That thing definitely came in clutch today, and I was certainly an idiot for not having one before. Thank you for the gift at the championship. Before we get out of here, I wanted to remind you guys we're going to keep the content rolling on the 22 Lima Romeo channel, but we're going to offer more in-depth insight and tips, tricks, and strategies to help elevate your game going forward this season. Again, we appreciate you being here, and we hope to see you out on the range.